As I finished the latest legal thriller from the mind of John Grisham, I was suddenly left thinking, and I thought I'll give a short review as well as what my thoughts are. The Guardians is an amazingly powerful new book about a lawyer pastor. His name is Cullen Post, and who has for his primary mission in life the exoneration of innocence from the prisons of the United States of America. A black man, Quincy Miller, is in prison for over 22 years, convicted of the murder of a white lawyer. Our protagonist, Cullen Post, a white lawyer himself, comes to believe that Miller is innocent. And it is something that Miller has been claiming for all these years. So, with a remarkable tenacity, with courage and determination, Cullen Post starts digging into the 22-year-old conviction to prove it wrong. When many of those who had testified have either died or have moved on to different locations. Now, skeletons fall out of the cupboards, figuratively as well as really, as the plot thickens and meanders into fascinating directions, all of which have kept me gripped till the end of the book. Now, unfazed by racist lawyers and murderous prison gangs, and undeterred by shady law firms and even drug cartels, our man, Post, blessed with this tremendous determination, engages with many DNA scientists and with many an FBI investigator. Now, calmly and firmly, he and his small team of the Guardian Ministries, a non-profit organization, try to convince the legal system to reopen that seemingly old open and shut case, to reread all those old court transcripts, and to recall those witnesses and to re-examine those court exhibits. Now, will this prove that the client is innocent? Is he? Now, that is a question, of course, for which you will get an answer if you read the book. But what had stimulated my thinking, thanks to my 20-day affair with this book, is the number of innocents who could really be languishing in USA's jails for no fault of theirs. Now, I found out after reading this book that John Grisham, the author himself, had written a very interesting piece for the newspaper Chicago Tribune on 14th March 2018, which is titled Why the Innocent End Up in Prison. Now, according to that article and according to the Innocence Project of the USA, the rate of wrongful convictions in the United States is estimated to be somewhere between 2 to 10%. Now, you may think it is low, but let me quote John Grisham himself. When applied to an estimated prison population of 2.3 million, the numbers become staggering. Can there really be 46,000 to 230,000 innocent people locked away? Those of us who are involved in exoneration work firmly believe so, unquote. Now, according to him, there are thousands and thousands of innocent people who have been wrongly convicted and are languishing in these jails. Now, it's after I read this book, when I checked up some of these websites, that I came to know that John Grisham is actually on the board of the Innocence Project. And it is something that I got to know after this. And I think that's a wonderful thing that he's doing. I have always felt that John Grisham, I've always felt that authors generally run out of steam when they have exploited almost all angles in their core area. But clearly this author, John Grisham, seems to have not lost his touch. The Guardians is Grisham's 40th novel. Now published at the age of 64, and amazingly from 1989, when he first wrote A Time to Kill. He seems to be churning out at least one book per year. In fact, he churned out 2 books in 2017, and he still succeeds in keeping his readers thoroughly engaged with his mind-boggling research and, of course, with his spellbinding stories. My Personal favorites, of course, have been the books The Testament, The Partner, and A Painted House. But anyway, let's come back to the Innocence Project. It has been striving hard to exonerate innocents from being punished for crimes they did not commit, and I think they are needed, or projects like the Innocence Project of the USA are needed, not just in USA but in many other countries around the world. I'm sure that there are many times people in many countries wrongfully convicted and really troubled in the jails. While legal systems and judges' rulings are keeping our society and the entire country sometimes on a right path, we must not ignore the fact that in many countries, wrongful convictions can deny the innocent of the joy of a good life. Sometimes we must remember, even when proven, the accused could still be not guilty.